Today we are talking about some amazing young women. Did you know that on average, Girl Scouts are responsible for 3 state law changes per year? On average, Girl Scouts are the ones that are doing this. I'm Erin Kienzle, and this is the Charleston Women Podcast. And today we are talking to the Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina.
This is Charleston Women Podcast, where you can meet like-minded, strong, independent, professional, and inspiring local women. This is Charleston Women Podcast.
And now we would like to welcome Diane Flanagan, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina, to the Charleston Women Podcast. Diane, we are so happy to have you.
I am thrilled to be here, Erin. Thank you so much for having me and discussing Girl Scouts.
Right. And I have to, we're going to start by saying something about cookies, because that's what we all know about the Girl Scouts. I wish we were in person.
Yes.
I'm eager to talk to you today because we're going to talk about several different things about who you are, what you do for girls' lives. And maybe you had mentioned before when we were chatting, maybe a branding issue, because I think a lot of people don't know the level of transformation you make in these young girls' lives. So, I just want to start, with the overview. I joke about cookies, but of course that's what everyone knows the Girl Scouts for. But just kind of give me a rundown of who you are and what you do as an organization.
So Girl Scouts at its foremost is a leadership development organization. People don't think of us that way, but that is what we're doing for our girls. We're through our amazing thousands of incredibly dedicated volunteers are really facilitating and teaching girls how to be leaders in their own lives, in a business, in whatever it is they choose to run. We're instilling in them the confidence and the skills to take charge and really be a leader in their own life.
So for very important. And for someone listening right now, how young can they start? Is it kindergarten that they can go first?
Yes, they're called daisies. Yes. So you can start at kindergarten. And the basic idea behind Girl Scouts is everything is girl-led. That's how they learn to become leaders. Mm-hmm. So when you have a group of daisies or kindergartners, girl-led looks very different than if you have a group of seniors in high school, which is what we call ambassadors, right? So, and the role of a volunteer is to facilitate that girl-led mentality. And it looks very different. So if you're a group of kindergarten girls, then you're talking to them about, what are you interested in? We love animals. We love the elderly. So you find out what the girls are interested in. You ask them, you facilitate their discussions, and they decide what it is they want to look at and focus on for the year. Now, when you get to a senior in high school, it can be very, very different. And you're asking them, okay, design your year. What do you want it to look like? What are the activities you want to do? What trips do you want to take? And the girls make those decisions. So that's kind of at the core of helping girls discover their leadership abilities. You're asking them to design what their experience looks like.
Right. From a young age all the way up through high school, they're doing it just at a different level, if you will. What are the numbers? I know daisies, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, you have a ton of them. And then kids get busy and, things start to kind of filter out, if you will. What percentage of girls make it to the ambassador level? Because that's quite
actually, I don't know the exact number. I am an engineer, but I don't know the exact number. My guess, it's very small. I would say probably only about 6 to 7% make it all the way through.
That's very important.
And our big drop off really happens in those middle school years. And you think about middle school is a tough time for kids, all kids, right? By the time they're in high school, they've kind of found themselves and they're a little bit more comfortable. But in middle school, you've got all those pressures. Girl Scouts on the outside isn't always perceived as being very cool. So you kind of lose the cool factor, and you've got so much more competition for girls' times. You've got band and cheerleading and all kinds of other things and sports. So our big drop-off really happens after middle school. But if the troop has a really, really good troop leader that keeps them engaged, how girls benefit if they go all the way through high school is just tremendously different. It's a benefit no matter how long they're in Girl Scouts, but if they stay all the way through, those girls truly, truly have excelled.
Right. sometimes we talk about Boy Scout, Eagle Scouts, and you list all the big, popular people that we know that were Eagle Scouts or leaders. How about the Girl Scouts? I feel like we don't hear that as much. What are some amazing, inspirational women? And why don't we? Why don't we hear more about that?
That is kind of a major problem that the press doesn't like to. The press is very eager to pick up stories about Boy Scouts and Eagle Scouts, which is an amazing achievement, and they should. Whenever we have a girl that's earned something very similar, we refer to as a gold award. Mm-hmm. It's hard to get the press to pick it up. On May 7th, I'm actually honoring 8 of our girls who earned their gold award this year. Nationally, only 6% of Girl Scouts earn their gold award. It is actually more rigorous to attain than the Eagle Scout because it has the requirement of sustainability. So it's an amazing community project, but it has to be sustainable. It can't be what we call a one and done. It has to be a project that keeps going after the girl finishes the project.
Okay.
And a lot of people don't understand that, right? It's kind of sad, but the press really favors boys over girls. Philanthropic dollars go more to boys' causes than to girls' causes. In fact, more philanthropic dollars go to animal causes than to girls' causes. And so we need to get the word out and change how amazing our girls are, what this organization does. And it's that brand awareness problem that I talked about. Girl Scouts is a great brand. Everyone knows who we are. Mm-hmm. It's very positive. But people really don't understand the core of what we're doing for our girls.
Right.
Be part of the conversation surrounding Mount Pleasant. Sponsor the Mount Pleasant Podcast. Podcast marketing is the new, powerful way to brand your business and reach your customers. For more information, visit carolinapodcasts.com or call 843-345-7012.
You're listening to the Charleston Women Podcast.
If you could just sum it up, let's say, so I have 3 kids in middle school. It's an awful age.
It's tough.
It's hard. We are busy. They're figuring it out. They're moody. So I feel you when you say, they drop off in middle school. So when you speak of, brand awareness, let's say you're talking to a girl in middle school or, her parent, what would you say to keep that girl in? What benefit? You've said it before, but just to really sum it up, what would you tell her?
It's hard for the girl to see the benefit of what's going to happen to her in her lifetime and career. So the messaging for the parent is very different from the messaging for the girl. Mm-hmm. For the girl, the messaging is it's a sisterhood where you are accepted and embraced for everything you are and everything you want to do, right? It's this amazing sisterhood of fun and camaraderie. But at the same time, you're able to explore things that you never thought you might want to explore. We do all kinds of outdoor adventures. We do, because that's another misconception. A lot of people think we don't do the rappelling and the kayaking and all the axe throwing. We do it all, right? And so people don't understand that. And we do a lot of civic involvement too. If you're interested in advocacy and civics, this is a great place to do it. And fewer schools are covering that. Right. Fun fact, on average, nationally, Girl Scouts are responsible for changing, on average, 3 state laws per year, mainly through the Gold Award projects. Isn't that amazing?
That's amazing. I'm writing this down as you talk. 3 state laws per year. I'm just wowed by that.
On average, 3 state laws per year by a Girl Scout, right? Mainly through Gold Award projects. So
give me an example. Do you have just one of them, someone that's changed a law?
One that comes to mind is in Northern California. One of our girls had straws banned because, straws are bad for the environment. Paper straws are bad for the environment. So that's one example. Some other things can be around traffic issues. I can't think of any more off the top of my head.
No, that's fine, but it's something they see the problem.
The whole point is, whatever a girl is interested in, she can pursue it in Girl Scouts with friends and have fun, right?
Now the messaging to the parent
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, I had my girls did Girl Scouts when they were younger, and I was surprised at all the outdoor things that we did. I mean, we camped, we built things. We were terrible campers. That's the whole point. You're learning,
Exactly.
I love it. And they learn a lot with those leadership skills from a very young age.
Yes, they do. And there's all kinds, we have a Girl Scout Research Institute, and there's all kinds of data on if a girl spends time outside doing outdoor camping and outdoor things, they're more challenge seeking in their lives. They're more environmentally conscious. I mean, there's tons of benefits for being out in the outdoors, not to mention the confidence builder of hiking and zip lining and rappelling and all of those fun things.
I mean, Girl Scouts should be the coolest. I know you said sometimes you have to get over that.
It is.
Branding, but it should be like everyone wants to do what these Girl Scouts are doing.
But, that's part of our branding problem.
Yeah.
It's not considered cool. Now we're trying to change that by getting the messaging out, and we've updated our uniforms so they are a little bit more fashion forward, because girls do love fashion, right? We had a whole group of girls. Well, for the little ones, we still have the beanie. But as you get older, we've got lots more cuter, more not cute. That's probably not the best word, but more fashion forward.
I know what you're getting at.
Designs.
Yeah, more modern.
And we actually had a group of, like we're girl led. This was all designed in conjunction with the New York Fashion Institute of Technology with a group of girls. A group of girls designed this. In fact, one of the girls on the committee was one of our own Girl Scouts from St. George, South Carolina, which is really cool.
That's really impressive.
She was one of our Gold Award girls, and just incredibly inspiring. Yeah.
You're like a proud mama of all your South Carolina girls. You should
they are
be.
my girls.
You should be.
I love to say I raised two sons. I have two boys and over 5,000 girls.
Which is more difficult? I joked around the beginning. We all know you about your cookies, and it's a wonderful program. I think the one thing that people miss about the cookies is that you are teaching them entrepreneurship.
Without a doubt,
those girls hustle, whether it's in front of a grocery store or selling to the neighbors, whatever they're doing. They learn a lot, don't they?
Yes. And they are truly, Erin, running a business for the first time in their lives. In Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina, we just finished our cookie sale 2 weeks ago, and our girls sold 1.2 million boxes.
No way.
Yes. It's a shocking number, right? People, they don't understand the magnitude of the cookie sale. 1.2 million boxes, and essentially half of South Carolina, right? That's almost a box per person living in our house.
I have to ask, what's the most popular? Is it still the Thin Mint?
Without a doubt, the Thin Mint. Yeah. The Thin Mint is the most popular. Yes. So I have to tell you, we changed our sales method when I first moved here and took over as CEO to what we call cookies in hand. So instead of girls going out with their order card and talking to customers and then having to come back and deliver, girls now go either door to door or in front of a storefront with cookies in their red wagon or on a table. And customers just buy so much more. Yeah. Our top seller this year was just shy of 10,000 boxes. She sold 9,750 something, I think.
I can't even process that. That's so many. Yeah.
I had my top incentive level was 6,000 boxes. I had 10 girls sell over 6,000 boxes each.
They definitely need to sales.
I know, it's incredible. Then I have another level at 3,000. The girls who sell 3,000 boxes get to go on a Carnival cruise with me to Mexico. I had 47 girls sell more than 3,000 bucks. 47 girls.
That's going to be a heck of a cruise.
Well, here's how they break it down, because I talk to my top cookie sellers all the time, right? And I'm like, how do you do this? What's your strategy? You don't just sell 6,000 boxes without thinking it through, running a business. They have to manage inventory. There's eight different varieties. So they have to have all the different varieties. They have to market their booth. They have to be able to manage the phone system where they're taking credit cards, because we take credit cards now too, right? And then they've got to figure out how many, what we call a booths, how many tables do they set up where? I have to tell you the story of my favorite seller, Brooklyn. She's in Mount Pleasant. And Brooklyn sold over 6,000 boxes this year. And I said, so how do you do this? And she's homeschooled. So she's like, well, I don't sell until after 4:00 because it wouldn't be fair for me to sell while my sister Girl Scouts are still in school, right? Wow. You got to love that, first of all.
Yeah.
And then what she does is she sets up a table or a booth in front of a large housing subdivision. And on Tuesday, she's at this subdivision. On Wednesday, she's at another one. On Thursday, every week. So the subdivisions get used to, okay, we know we can get cookies on Tuesday coming home from work. And from 4 to 7, she'll sell anywhere from 300 to 400 boxes of cookies an evening. Wow. Right? So she's done the math. She's figured out how many nights do I need to do this to hit. I mean, that is incredible. And she's only 10 years old.
Oh, my goodness.
So I think about Brooklyn and I think about, oh my goodness, what is she going to run in her lifetime? Whatever it is she does, she is learning these skills, having fun, going on a cruise with me. She insists on rooming with me this year and just loves every moment of it. Loves every moment.
In 20 years, when there's another podcast similar to this one, and they say, what famous Girl Scouts do we know? They are going to bring up Brooklyn's name. And say, when she was 10, she sold 6,000 boxes of cookies. What would you say, Diane, to a parent who is considering, putting their daughter into Daisies? Or can you join when you're later? Let's say there's a middle schooler who just doesn't have activities or doesn't fit in. Is it too late to join?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You can join at any time. You get benefits at any time. Basically, to the parent, I often say, if I knew when I was a parent, I didn't have girls, but if I knew the value of Girl Scouts and how my girl would grow and blossom, I would be screaming to get her in Girl Scouts because there is just nothing like it. So I would say to a parent, this is a place where your girl will make amazing friends, have lots of fun, but she'll be able to try new things in a safe environment. She can take risks and learn about things and do things in a safe environment. And that is just really, really, really valuable. Really valuable.
Diane, I can't say anything that tops that. I thank you. I'm going to end this interview on that because that was so powerful and so touching. What is the best way for someone to get information? Your website is Girl Scouts ESC
for easternsouthcarolina.org. There's actually a join now button right there.
Okay.
And what happens if you want to join, you can hit the join now button. And one of our people will contact you and talk to you about your girl, where she located, and we'll try to connect you to a troop.
Okay.
It's just that simple.
That easy. Go to girlscoutsesc.org. You have been listening to the Charleston Women Podcast with Diane Flanagan, who's the Chief Executive Officer of Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina. And again, I'm your host, Erin Kienzle. Thank you so much for listening to the Charleston Women Podcast. Make sure you subscribe for future episodes.
Thanks for spending time with Charleston Women Podcast. Please like us and follow us on whatever platform you're using to access Charleston Women Podcast.